Hey folks, welcome back. Here we have a brand new video for you all on a new embellishment. And this embellishment is called a Gracenote Strike. This is sort of a combination of a G Gracenote with a strike. So when we're doing these exercises, we want to make sure that we're always landing on our intended note with a clean G Gracenote, and then following that G Gracenote with our strike. The rhythm of the movement is a quick 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. It's not sort of a grace note and then a strike like 1-2. We want them very close together. However, we need to hear the space in between the G Gracenote and the start of the strike in order to get that desired 1-2 rhythm. Here we go. So we'll start off with B Gracenote Strikes. And we're going to play at 60 beats a minute. We'll start after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're off to a good start here. Notice that when we come down from high G, instead of a G grace note, we're using a thumb grace note. And when we're coming down from high A, there actually is no first grace note, but we still have a small pause before the strike, which gives us about the same rhythm. When you're playing these strikes, we want to aim to hear the space between the G Gracenote and the strike. Not enough space, they end up on top of each other. Too much space, and it doesn't really sound like a small embellishment anymore, and instead probably sounds like two separate notes. So we want it to be nice and compact, 1-2, but not so compact we turn it into a mushy sound, and not so wide that it actually sounds like two separate notes. Let's do the B Gracenote Strike exercise one more time. We'll start after 4. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great work. Now we're going to have a look at the same idea on the note D. And the first exercise on D is going to be heavy D Gracenote Strikes. So we'll have our G Gracenote followed by a heavy D strike, which is all of the fingers down. All right, we'll start after 4, heavy D Gracenote Strikes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. The key to all of these Gracenote strikes is that you're landing your G Gracenote right on the beat and that the strike is following. we want to make sure that we always land on our note with a clean G grace note, and that's why we always play to the note first with just a G grace note. Okay, we're going to do the last line here, which are the light D Gracenote strikes. So we're on D, we're playing our G grace note, but this time followed by a light D strike, which is just played with the one finger there, just your pointer finger. If the tune were a little bit happier or a little bit softer sounding, the composer might choose to use light strikes instead of heavy strikes. If it's a real fast, hard moving tune, the composer might want the heavy strikes. So here we go. Let's do the last line, light D Gracenote Strikes. We'll start after 4. And ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there we have it. All of the Gracenote strikes on B and D. Now, technically, you could play Gracenote strikes on other notes, low A, C, E, whatever else. However, the ones on B and D are by far the most common. They're the ones that you see the most when you're learning new tunes. So I thought we'd focus on those. All right, now please take the time to master this video. Don't just do it once and kind of get the idea and then never come back. Your goal is to use these videos week by week by week to reinstall these correct movement patterns to the point where you don't have to think about them whatsoever. So once is definitely not enough. Okay, folks, happy practicing and go well.